Today I want to talk about what actually happens when we work with demons, the energy exchange that happens, what actually takes place. But if you're new to the channel, so if this is your first time here, I'm Lee, and I talk about magic and witchcraft. So as I say, if you are new, just hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you get notifications. And there's also a join button now. So if you would like to support, show your appreciation, support for the channel and allow it to grow really, then please join. It's just a really, really small fee every month. But it will definitely help to grow the channel. And every Friday we have a Black Hat chat, Reverend Kai and myself. And we also have a Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee channel where you can go and support us there, and you can also sign up for one of the tiers where you can get courses. Reverend Kai does a tarot and cartomancy course, and I do a demonolatry course. So to get into what happens when we work with demons. So I think a lot of people have this impression that we do a ritual, we evoke a demon into the space, usually into the triangle of art if you're working with Goesha, and then we tell the demon what to do, it goes off and it comes back and it gives you what you want. Not quite what happens, and I think understanding this from an energetic point of view is very important to actually achieving your goals. So when we work with the demons, mostly the demons like to empower us. They like to allow us to grow, allow us to become stronger, allow us to get the things that we want in our lives. And in order to do this, things need to change within ourselves. So if we want courage and we're a timid person, something's got to change. The demon's not just going to make you courageous. There's an energy that needs to alter within ourselves in order to become courageous, or to understand what it means to become courageous. So when we're working with the demons, when we're asking them for things, as I say, I think a lot of people have this impression that they go off and they bring it to you. But what often happens is, for instance, if you are asking for treasure to be revealed, this could be in the form of businesses or promotion, or if you're looking for a job, a treasure would be a job, a new job that comes to you. So what the demon will actually do is they will align things in your life, but not just in your life, within yourself. They will change the energy within yourself so that you can move in a particular direction. Imagine it like you're walking down a path. That's where your energy is taking you. But in order to get to where you want to be, you've got to go to on a different path. So as you're walking down this path, if your energy doesn't change or alter in any way, you're going to continue on that same path. So what happens is your energy changes, it alters, and all of a sudden this path appears. You see it, because now all of a sudden you are able to see this new path, and then you can walk down that new path. But if that energy doesn't change within yourself, or energy, attitude, whatever it is, then you're going to carry on just walking down the same path and going in the same direction. And that's mostly what happens. There's a shift that takes place. And sometimes it may be a case of the demon will just put something in your path, like a road sign or something like that, so that you can move in a particular direction. If you need to heal from something, then a change in your energy needs to take place. So all of these things, there's a change in yourself that actually happens. And so what you're doing is you're working with the energy of the demonic. You are calling a particular demon which works with a particular aspect, and the energy which that demon then possesses, you then incorporate into your own life, and that energy starts to alter your own energy, or add to it, improve it, increase it, or even in some cases decrease it, depending on what work you're actually doing. If it's getting rid of a bad habit, for instance, the energy which you put into that bad habit needs to decrease in order to remove the bad habit. So it's all about energy. And when we're working with the demons, there's offerings we make. Being, demonolatry, it's quite often a bloodletting. You prick your finger with a lancet, you offer just a drop of blood. And that is an energy exchange. Not always blood. I've had cases where I've been asked to give some quite strange things, like an old shoe of my left foot. Recently I worked with a demon who asked just for a slice of bread with milk on it. There is an offering that takes place, and the offering itself is a form of energy exchange. You are working with a demon in order to, sort of apply their energy into your life, to alter your life, to alter your energy. And because you're taking energy, you need to give energy. And the offering that you make is the giving. It's the energy exchange in order to keep a balance. So keep that in mind. But when you are working with the demons, it's always best to ask what the demon wants. And trust yourself in this. It's when you start out working with demonolatry, it can be quite difficult to kind of know what the demon wants, but trust yourself. You'll ask, and then you'll probably get an impression, and you'll think that's a bit odd. Like, as I say, an old shoe off my left foot. I mean, that's definitely something I did not expect to get asked for. But just trust yourself. The impression you get is the thing that is being asked for. And also bear in mind, go back into my videos about discernment and making sure that you're actually working with the demon that you're calling instead of an astral parasite. Because if they start asking for things like hurting yourself or hurting other people, it's probably an astral parasite. It's not the demon you're actually trying to communicate with. So just, if you get some requests which don't seem right, which seem harmful in any way, just get that discernment bone going, and make sure that you are actually working with the spirit you are wanting to actually work with. But as I say, in most cases, it's blood. It's just a drop of blood, and that blood it's part of yourself, and that's why it's an offering, and it's energy which comes from yourself. But there is that energy exchange that takes place. You are taking energy and using it, therefore you are giving energy to replace that. It's very similar to if you go to a graveyard and you do some graveyard work. You're going to go and gather some graveyard dirt. You're going to take energy away from the graveyard, therefore you need to replace that energy. So that there's an equal balance and exchange that happens. Throughout life, whatever it is, there's always an exchange that needs to take place in order to keep the balance. If you are working or you've got a business, you do a job, you do a service, you produce something for somebody. In order for that exchange to take place, you usually get paid for that service or item or whatever it is that you actually did. So there's that energy exchange again that happens. There always needs to be an energy exchange of some kind, and it's not always that obvious. But working with the demons, we are working with the energy of the demonic, and I think that's important to understand. As I say, it's not this figure, this entity that runs off and shuffles away and grabs something and brings it back to you and puts it in your lap. In most cases, it is that trying to empower you to actually move in a particular direction, trying to give you the strength, trying to give you the courage, trying to give you, alter your energy, alter your makeup in order to become more powerful, in order to become or get what you need in your life. I think the old explanation of if you do magic to get a job, for instance, it's no good sitting back and just waiting for the job to come to you. You've got to put out your CV, and you put out your CV to 100 companies. But the magic itself will make it more possible for you to get a job that you actually want. But if you're just going to do the magic, sit back and wait for it all to come to you, nothing's going to happen because you're not doing what you actually need to do. It's very similar here. You can't expect the demons to go out and just bring everything to you, and just sit back and just wait for it. You actually need to do the work. You actually need to go out there and make your own life. The demonic energy is going to make that possible. It's going to shift things in your life. It's going to put things into your path so that you alter direction. The demonic energy is going to allow you to move in the direction that you need to move in order to get the life that you want. But it's no good sitting back. You've got to go do the work. So I just wanted to mention that. And that's it for this week, really. Bit of a short one. So this Friday on the Black Hat Chat, we are talking about diasporic witchcraft. What this means is we have two hemispheres in the world, Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere. When we're working witchcraft, especially when we're working with the land, things alter. They change between the hemispheres. And a lot of people in the Southern Hemisphere for years and years and years, and still I see it now, people questioning, the seasons and everything else. It's very important for, especially people in the Southern Hemisphere, because a lot of the books which we read are written in the Northern Hemisphere, so they apply to that hemisphere, not to the Southern Hemisphere. But we'll get into that on Friday in the Black Hat Chat. So if you can be there for the chat itself, for the live chat, it's 4 p.m. GMT, and it's on my channel, and also Kai's channel, and on Twitch. And all of the links are in the description. If you want to join the Patreon, buy me a coffee, apply for one of the courses, both of the courses, whatever you want to do, all of the links are in the description below. So go check that out. And I'll see you on Friday, or I'll see you next week. Oh, and next week I've got a bit of a different one. Adam Knox from the Cult of You interviewed me. So I'm going to be putting that video up next week, Tuesday. It was quite a fun and good interview, and so that's for next week anyway. So I'll see you then. Cheers.